I remember when I was growing up that I used to think that all light-skinned black women were the same. Of course, that was ignorant of me at that time because all of anybody of any group is not the same. So let me just first admit that. But I did think a lot of light-skinned women were pretty much the same, that there wasn't any difference. And I just didn't know any better. And these were some of the stereotypes I used to think of light-skinned women. I thought they all were stuck up. They all thought their shit didn't stink. They all were bougie. They all were kind of dingy in the head. That they think they're better than darker skinned people, that they didn't care about black folks, black people, that they wanted to be white, that they like all of these different things. And as I got older, little by little, I start to realize how wrong I was. I was grossly wrong. As a matter of fact, many light-skinned women over the years that I met that I wrongly associated these thoughts and opinions and stereotypes to, they were actually the complete opposite of what I had originally thought. You know. So many light-skinned women actually do care about black people. Many light-skinned women are down to earth, are nice. So I don't know where I got that from. But there was still a main thing that I still couldn't really figure out, that I really didn't notice until now. Of course, I no longer think this sort of way. I no longer, think this certain thing about light-skinned women, but I still couldn't figure out, the differences between the light-skinned female that comes from a black family where both of her parents are biologically black or is considered to be black. Maybe both of her parents are light-skinned, or one of her parents are light-skinned, the other one might be dark-skinned, and then she came out light-skinned herself. You have that light-skinned female, and you have the other light-skinned black female where one parent is black, regardless what complexion they may be, and then the other parent is non-black, being white or Asian or Hispanic. So that would be the mixed race light-skinned female. So I still thought those two types of light-skinned females were very similar, or very much the same. And pretty soon I realized that those two are not the same, and they are pretty much, different from one another. So I started listening to different YouTube videos, Tommy Sotomayor and a few other black male YouTubers over the years who started pointing out these differences between the different types of light-skinned females. And then I started back working as an extra on television and film. And when you do that out here in LA, that's kind of like a step in the door of acting. And when you work background, you work around a lot of beautiful women of all races, different nationalities, shapes, sizes, and cultures. But mostly you run into white women generally, then some black women, some Asian, some Hispanic, some Middle Eastern, just a little bit of everybody. But television is basically engineered to cater to the white people, where you just have primarily white people on TV. All other races are considered minorities. So I've been on a lot of different TV shows, again, as a background, as an extra, not as a famous person or a celebrity. 95% of the time you probably won't even see me. I'm the background. I'm the extra. So working with these different women, and a lot of these women who are extras themselves, I would say more than half, a little more than half, are actually seriously trying to become like real actresses that have lines and performances on TV. That's not my interest. I'm just doing a job. So a lot of the different black women, a lot of them end up being light skinned. You do have dark skinned females on TV, on TV and also as extras. But there's also a lot of light skinned females. So I started noticing how these light-skinned females are. I started paying more attention to them as far as like their actions, their characteristics. And I noticed that the regular light-skinned black female, where both of her parents are black or considered to be black, they're probably light-skinned themselves, or one of them is. Those light-skinned females, which are more common because they come from two black parents, which that's the more common thing within the black community. Those type of light-skinned females, they're the type that, for lack of a better way of saying it, they're the ones who act black, whatever that means. They have more typical black characteristics and actions like the other black people do. They definitely associate with black people. Again, and it depends on the female. Like you have the old time stereotypes of them, like what I originally brought up. But basically, these are the ones that are more likely to be more ghetto acting, ghetto talking. They identify with black people, and they like have like I guess what you would call black scent. They're black. They're black. That's what they are. They identify as that. And on a side note, let me just briefly say, because I'm not putting light-skinned women on a pedestal or anything. I don't want anyone to think that. But this particular type I'm talking about, they also tend to be just as ratchet as any other black female. Darker skinned black female. But it seems like I noticed that light-skinned black women, they tend to get a pass on being ratchet because they're light-skinned. That's just an observation I noticed. And then you have the mixed race light-skinned black female. Now, I noticed that these type of females, they consider themselves black too. They identify as black. Maybe not as often. Some of them want to be called biracial or mixed race. And some of them call themselves black. This is the mixed race, light-skinned black female. But also, I noticed that they're kind of less likely to be so ghetto acting, or quote unquote acting black. As far as dating, because I'm actually I'm just not interested in black women of any complexion, any shade, or anything like that. Yeah, I'm just not interested in them. I've given them their chance for many years, and well, I'm no longer giving them a chance. But if I was gonna pursue a black woman, it would be a mixed race, light skinned black female, and not because she's light skinned or mixed race, because I used to go after black women of all complexions, of all shades, equally. I wasn't caught up on the light skinned thing like a lot of brothers were. And a lot of brothers do have this colorism that everyone does talk about. That is real, but I'm not really talking about that particular type of colorism on this video. But I noticed that the mixed race, light-skinned black female seems to probably, depending on, and it depends on her background, her situation, their story is not all the same. But a lot of them seem to kind of want to, I guess, try to find an identity. They're trying to find an identity since both of their parents are of different races. And I noticed that those type of light-skinned black female, the mixed race ones, they seem to be, even though a lot of black folks might erroneously assume, like I would have 10, 15, 20 years ago, they would erroneously assume that these people, especially the mixed race light-skinned women, that they are stuck up, that they think they're better than other people, they think they're better than other black people, they're not nice, they're not friendly, they're not sweet. And let me just tell you, at least from my observation, my short recent observation of paying attention at least to this particular topic, and I've been looking at this the past few years, from my observation, from my experience of noticing, that is just absolutely not true. If anything, those type of light-skinned women that you would run into who do exhibit those type of things usually come from the light-skinned, where both of their parents are black. And I'm not saying you see that in large numbers even with them, because that's not necessarily true. If anything, those types are trying to be extra ghetto, extra ratchet, just to prove their blackness to other black people. But from that same category, that particular group of light-skinned women, you probably might find that negative stereotype that is associated with light-skinned black women. And the mixed race light-skinned black women, I really haven't seen that from them. Those are just like regular people who just want to be with a regular dude. Nothing extreme, nothing extravagant, nothing outrageous or anything like that. So that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. The differences between the light-skinned black women and the mixed race light-skinned black women. And this is a particular type of colorism, I believe. And that is all I have to say. Neck of the Woods, signing off. Have a great day, folks.